the bull in a china shop is Electricity Company of Ghana, the sick man of the power sector. I mean, you can't run an electricity utility and make 40% commercial and technical losses and continue to think that you have a viable business. And so something must give in that sector. And that's why I've said that we are looking at introducing private sector participation. If you remember, under the Millennium Challenge Compact, we had agreed that in the last portion of the distribution, billing, and metering, we're going to introduce private sector participation. And so I remember I signed the contract eventually, the compact, and we started the whole process with improving the national grid with the bulk supply points, the BSPs, and all that. But there was also a component for private sector participation in billing and metering. And so the new government took over, and that's when the whole PDS saga happened. Even as irregular as PDS was and as inefficient as it was, I mean, when PDS came, you could see an increase in the revenue that was being collected. And so if we do it more transparently, more fairly, more competitively, I'm sure that we'll get an efficient partner to join us in terms of billing and metering so that we can eliminate the huge losses that ECG is making. And so we're willing to take the bull by the horns and reform that sector of it, and also reform the governance in ECG so that it's running more efficiently than it does currently. So these are all things that we're looking at, but I thought that it was important to call you and listen to you. Like I said, you're not horses, but I want to hear from your own mouths, you know, what you've gone through, and to open a new page on how we intend to do things. In the interim, one of the first things we want to do is to improve the governance in ECG. We don't need to wait for the private sector participation. We can start to look at their procurement systems. And I mean, why would you procure items that you don't need till 5 years or 6 years after? And so much of the revenue that is collected must go to pay for power that is generated. And so how to make the cash waterfall mechanism more effective so that at least you people are clawing back part of your cost while we look at the outstanding debt. These are issues that we want to look at, but we're going to do that in concert with you. I can assure you we're turning a new chapter. As I said in my inaugural address, I said Ghana is open for business again. You guys brought your investment in here, and you expected that that investment will pay off. And so we need to be faithful partners in order that you're able to run your businesses properly and you're able to account to your shareholders, because your shareholders will be wondering, I mean, what kind of investment in this that we've done, and we're producing the power and yet we're not being remunerated for it. So those are the first preliminary remarks I'll make. Would open the floor and I'll listen to you two, and after that, if there are any other comments that I should make, I will come back. So thank you and welcome again.